Oh, like that was probably the firmest.
That was crisp.
That was the firmest handshake or high five ever. Whatever that was. Dab up. Guava paradise.
Oh, wow. That's quite delicious.
It's delicious. Oxy Shred knows their shit. Welcome back. Welcome back to the new episode of the Split Shift podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Dan.
My name's Jamie, and we've got a couple of questions for each other today.
We did.
Written in by you lot, or either yourself or clients or somebody at the gym. And we're going to chip away at them. We're going to uncover some cool fucking shit that we're thinking about. We're going to talk about what we think about certain things, because that's literally what we do all the time.
Every day.
Every single day. And you guys are going to have a little listen to us talk about it. You guys know the fucking drill. You've been here for long enough now, and hopefully we'll actually make a move on this chessboard, because last episode there was 0 moves done. I'm pretty sure there was actually 0.
Yeah.
But we did have a 2-minute timer.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I was just going to say, it's really stressful to make a move, think about chess in a speed run. Have you noticed that?
No, it is. Most speed runs, we don't do much other than speed run it. We got 2 minutes. So this time we got 5 minutes.
Got 5 minutes.
And like that's, much more manageable. Let's slap that over here, and I'm going to kick this fucking shit off with a question.
Question me up.
For Darnell.
I love this.
Which is, here we go. All right. So, you guys listening? Tune in. Also, we have no idea whose fucking move it is still.
Again,
so
should we just rock, paper, scissors real quick?
Okay. Wait, are we going on 3? Like
Rock,
paper, scissors, rock?
Yeah,
Are we
scissors,
going
paper, rock?
paper, scissors? Do you scissors, paper, or paper, scissors?
Scissors, paper.
No, dude. What
Comment
Dude.
right now.
Paper, scissors, rock.
Scissors, paper, fuck. Which one do I do? Scissors. I do scissors. Scissors, paper, rock.
That ain't it. All right, well, let's do it. We're going to do it on rock, though. Rock finishes.
Oh, I'm confused now.
Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. I move. All right, which works out well, because otherwise it'll be 6 minutes with no move.
That's literally true.
By 6, I mean 5. All right, so, Darnell, I've got a question.
Hit me.
Can you help me out with this?
I can do this.
The thing is, I'm going to my auntie's farm. I'm going to my auntie's farm for 2 weeks in December. How do I stay on track without losing progress? What do you reckon?
What is this, Auntie Kaz's farm?
Auntie Kaz's farm.
Auntie Kaz's farm.
She loves a bit of organic milk. Why did that sound bad?
Is it is it horticulture?
What are you saying about my auntie?
Nothing, bro. Anyway, question. Great question. Whoa, that is specific as. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm going to my auntie's farm for 2 weeks in December, and I don't want to. How can I make sure I don't want to lose my progress? Okay. Very specific. Probably relatable as well. People go away. People go away on holidays. Typically they'll get some leave. They'll get some time off for Chrissy, New Year's, stuff like that. They usually go away, go down the coast, maybe go on a holiday, go overseas, go to farms. Now, for this case of this question, there is a underlying thing that definitely needs to be addressed. It is environments will play to an extent. Yes, there's going to be environment limitations. For example, this farm. Yes, you're probably not going to be able to find a full gym there. You're probably not going to be able to find, maybe you can find some walking tracks, stuff like that. But in terms of what you've got access to, it's probably not much. It's probably going to be a cruisier, relaxation, holiday where you can just sit back, relax, maybe eat some food, enjoy company, create some good memories, right? Now, it's totally valid. The fear is there, but the fear is not in the environment. It's more of the fear of the structure of how you navigate that time, those next 2 weeks. Now, something that we always speak about is falling back to a minimum standard of what can you do during that time? How can you reframe progress? How can you reframe your routine so you can still show up in this area of your life? So with this case, I would say definitely look into how can you move more? How can you incorporate your family more into like more active events? You've got all this space. I'm sure there's going to be some walking tracks you can find around the area. You could probably just do some active stuff, play some frisbee. I don't know. You can, get creative with it, have a bit of fun with it instead of just having to sit around a campfire all day drinking and snacking, right? You can create that choice and involve people in it. Another thing with looking at on top of that is when these relaxing holidays come into play, there's also a lot more time to think. There's a lot more time for boredom. There's also more time for doing a lot of, other things that's probably more on the lines of relaxation. Be aware of your habits in certain like emotional states. And what I mean by that is that how are you feeling when you're bored? How are you feeling when you've got nothing to do? What do you typically fall back on? So you're essentially still just being mindful and auditing of your general eating habits during this time. A common one is that I know when I go on holiday, or I know when I, trying to like just take a step back or go down the coast, whatever, of course I'm going to get some packets of chippies and stuff like that. And it's all good. It's all great, right? Now, obviously you can get carried away, and then this can kills people's momentum where they feel guilty and feel like they all that type of shit. And thank you. And they, and then it makes it really hard for them to come back 2 weeks after that holiday to say, oh my God, I feel like shit. I just blew it out. I'll just start the new year. When you have a certain standard where you can audit what you're eating, or like, things like that. So you can pick health, a bit more mindful of your snack options. You can substitute that boredom snacking for something else, for example. So you're pairing it with what things that's going to benefit your goals, but it's not going to be at the cost of the enjoyment of a relaxing time. And that's something that people will 100% think, or they have this fear of as well, is that they're scared they're just going to go out the window and do absolutely nothing, because it needs to be like this instead, where it has to be all of something, where it doesn't really need to be. You're just aligning it to a standard where say, this is what I just can show up to, because you're going to be doing more family stuff. You're going to be creating more memories. Chances are, we always talk about this in the Split Shift Pod, is that when you're 2 years down the track, 5 years later, you're not going to think about the food that you ate or the snacking that you had at Auntie Kaz's fucking farm in 2025 in December. You're not going to think about that. You're going to think about the memories. You're going to think about the emotions. You're going to think about the campfire talks that you guys had around, with each other. You're going to share those really beautiful moments. Now, it becomes a lot harder if you're not present and you're thinking about, I have to track my food and I have to think about all this. You can do that if you want, but there's a cost of everything, right? So if you want to enjoy memories, enjoy that present moment, of course, find that minimum standard that you can still have these, safety nets you can fall back on, rather than just be like, I need to be fully still strict, like I'm back, still in work mode. This is your time where you can focus on other things instead, and you can still win the best of both worlds. But the minimum standard is absolutely everything. The last one before I wrap it up is expect a little bit of pushback as well. You are probably going to lose a little bit of progress. Maybe not feel as conditioned when you get back, but this is normal. Remember, training, all that is a skill. It's got to be up, it's going to be maintained, and you'll progress with it. So expect when you take a bit of time off with it, you're probably going to lose a bit of progress, but don't let that derail you, because that comes back. As long as you have your standard and your routine, you'll be fine. And you can kick the new year the best way.
Hell yeah. Nice. Yes, Auntie Kaz's farm.
Auntie Kaz's farm.
Auntie Kaz's farm.
Do you know anyone with a farm?
Dad's got a farm, but
True.
Again, I only ever go there for a few days, so it's not really that much of an issue. I think that's definitely important, keeping somewhat of a routine as much as you can.
Yeah.
I know that when I went to Europe for like 4 weeks, I thought I'm gonna hate not training. The first week was super tough. I'm like, I just want to train. I was itching to train. After the second week, I'm like, I sort of accepted that I wasn't really training. By the time I got home, I'm like, I don't need to go to the gym. I was just lucky that I worked at a gym, because there was no health and fitness there whatsoever. I was just drinking, partying, and just doing activities that were around those sort of things, swimming. So I was still relatively active, but nothing intentionally active. So yeah, it was 2 weeks. Hey, if you're going away for 2 weeks, that's really not that much for one. You can definitely take that time off. I'm going to extend it and say you're going away for 4 weeks. If you're going away for 4 weeks, you do want to start honing in on a bit of a routine. Set your minimum standard, like we were just talking about. I would say get one piece of movement every fucking day as a non-negotiable, like a walk or a bike ride or something. And what I thought you were going to say about the bit of pushback, as in your body adapting to, the stagnation or whatever. I thought you were going to go along the lines of, because I think this is very appropriate as well, or important. Expect a bit of pushback from the people that you're with. They may be like, you're going for another walk today. You walked yesterday.
Good point. Very good point.
Understand that that's probably going to happen. they just want to laze around, that's fucking fine. You're going to laze around with them for 8 hours of the day, potentially. You might go walk around with the fucking milk the cows, some shit. But you know what? Boost out, go do your hike, go do your bike ride. And then they may push back and be like, look, just come and chill out with us for the Arvo. Be like, no, I'm just going to go pump out a quick 30-minute walk. You're going to feel much better about it because you're still, even in that setting, you're still prioritizing this area. You're still ingraining that this is a priority to you, that this area is important to you. It doesn't need to be much. It doesn't need to be a fucking workout. You go 2, 3, 4 weeks without a session at a gym and still look fucking great. You know, I didn't after Europe, but that was because I was consuming copious amounts of alcohol and food. But
Checks out.
if you're not doing that, that's fine.
Checks
So
out.
what I would do is just do one piece of movement every day as a minimum and make sure you're still focusing on trying to get a couple serves of protein. If you go, I have a non-negotiable I get 2 to 3 serves of protein per day, and then I don't care about, I'm not tracking calories, I'm not doing anything like that. But by now I know what protein is. I'm going to prioritize at least getting a serve of protein in a couple times each day. Not only is that going to keep you fuller, so you're less likely to binge eat bullshit that you don't fucking need, but it's also going to make you, again, feel better about yourself. Feel like, okay, cool, I'm showing up for myself still, even if it is in a small way, that's fine. And then exactly like Danny was saying, I would just get fully amongst it, really enjoy your time there with your family, and making sure that this is just something that's clicking over in the background. This is still part of my identity. This is still part of who I am, but I'm not making it my sole focus in this area, because once you do that, you will regret it. You 100% will regret it, So yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. So well said. So true as well. The circle of influence is massive, and expect that little bit of pushback from them too. It is, it's like one of those things where it's almost like this is where all or nothing can really challenge people the most. Is where you're going to be facing, quite literally, the polar opposite of what you'll probably be doing, or maybe not polar opposite, but a lot less of what you were doing before. And they have this association thing that I'm like, do I need to stay on track and stuff like that, or need to make sure I'm doing this and all these things, right? And look, if you want to, you totally can, but then it's just got to remember the cost of it. Are you okay with maybe not being as present as much, or maybe not like, maybe I have to be a bit more meticulous with your food. You can't enjoy all the spread of food, that's there, still eating mindful. But like, if that's the cost, then go for it. But if you want to immerse yourself in that moment where you can enjoy and be like, fuck yeah, I had the best 2 weeks ever, and I can click back into routine pretty damn swiftly because I've got some base to build off, you're laughing, because that 2 weeks is nothing compared to what's going on for the rest of your life, especially for the lifetime progress, right?
Yeah. And also making commitments for when you get back, making sure that you do have a plan for when you do get back, so that those 2 weeks don't drag out into 6 weeks, which happens to a lot of people as well. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. You sort of got to weigh it up and see, how do I want to be at the end of this? What am I willing to miss out on? Am I willing to miss out on this time with my family? If it's a yes, then that's also fine. Like, if you don't like your family, that's fucking sweet. That's also cool. But a lot of people really do love their family. So,
and you know what? I think what's worth mentioning, especially with noted with that question, is that even asking the question may have been uncertain of how to get back. So I think it's a really good point. You said that it's like when you have a plan forward, because there are people, if you have a systemized routine where it's part of your life, it's part of your identity, you do this thing. Like, for example, I have a client, went to Japan for 3 weeks. It was so easy. Didn't train there once. It was so easy for her to come back into routine, is because she was extremely confident that she would, because it's a part of her. It's part of her routine. It's part of her lifestyle. She's keen to get back, itching to go and train again. But if you feel like you're struggling with that side of it is just like, I'm a little uncertain, I'm a bit worried, 100% have some sort of thing you can fall back on. What is going to be your immediate routine? You can get back into things when you're back. You know what I mean? That's completely fine. I agree with that. Love it.
100%. I reckon that'll do.
I got a question for you, man.
Ask me the question, and I'm also keen to see what fucking Danny Blaz's move is. I've tried to scan the board, and I think I know what his next move is.
Question.
Let me mime this to the camera, and if I get it right, that nothing happens.
I got that. Question for you, Jimbo. That's a long ask. Do you reckon I'll understand that?
Can you look the other way?
Yeah, sure.
Can you? I want to guess the move and I want to look like a fucking genius. Can you? No.
I'm gonna do the most rogue. I don't even know which one's mine. These ones are mine. All right, see.
The one on your side of the fucking.
Yeah.
All right, we better do this.
Question.
Yep.
Is there any points starting now, right before a bunch of end of year events, or do I just wait until after?
That is a fucking brilliant question. Like that, yeah. That's actually a brilliant question. Is there any point starting now before you're coming into summer, there's a whole lot of events. Is there any point starting now or should you just wait until when that's all done? There's never a right time to start. The right time to start, and I've definitely said this before, I prefer starting clients when their life is about to be fucking insane. If somebody tells me I'm going to wait a couple of weeks until life settles down a little bit, I'm like, don't bother. Don't fucking bother. We start now or we don't start at all. If you can't do it when it's fucking hard, there's no point doing the thing in general because life is going to get hard again. This is like, it was exactly what I said to somebody that said this a couple of weeks ago. It was fucking hilarious because that's good timing. Yeah, they were like, oh, I got a couple of weeks, got an event on the Bucks this week or last weekend and another event on this weekend or whatever. We're going to wait until the end of that. And I said, what the fuck was the metaphor? I was like, that's like, yes, you have a leaking roof, your roof fucking leaks and you're going to wait until after it rains because you know it's going to rain this weekend, but you're going to wait to fix that leak until after it rains. The fuck is the point of that? You fix it before it rains in preparation for the rain. Or plug it while it's fucking raining. That's also fine. But make sure you're not waiting until after the fucking thing because it's going to fucking happen again. And then you won't know if it's actually fixed or not. You need to actually see how your systems are. You need to see if everything actually works. You need to see if the blueprint that you've put out for your life is actually functional under stress. So now is the perfect time to start. Like this is so much better to start now than start in January because this is where you start actually building the muscle that is going to get you through the tough periods. If you do wait till January, you do wait till things slow down because you may get a period where it does slow down. You may get a period where the kids are back at school, work settles down a little bit. You could get a month, you could get a couple months in potentially, but then life gets fucking hectic again and you stop again. And then you start again, then you stop again, then you start again, then you future pace to Christmas or summer next year, 2026, and you're in the exact same position asking the exact same question to the exact same motherfuckers. So yes, in answer to your question, definitely start now. So what I would do first is you need to make sure you reframe that question. Instead of being like, in your head, is there any point starting now? You reframe, be like, this is the perfect time to start. Exactly what I just said. This is the perfect time to start because I'm going to be building that muscle that's going to get me through the tough periods in the future. There's no point starting when it's easy. You must start when it's hard. So I'm conditioned to working when it's hard and actually getting that progress when it is difficult. So when it's easy, I'm just getting more progress. From there, align yourself with that goal as well. And align yourself with how would my ideal version actually show up during this period? How would that version of me show up? If I want to get those results, if I want to be in 12 months time, this X version of myself, I want to be fit, healthy, vital, whatever it is, whatever it looks like for you, how would that version show up next summer? How would that version of me show up next year when I have those same events on? Because they're not fucking going anywhere. Every season has its own thing. Align yourself with that and start showing up like that. I'm sure there would be somebody that still enjoys those events. They still train Monday to Thursday potentially. They're still walking every day. Similar to what we were just talking about in the previous question. Similar to what we were talking about last week in the speed run. They will still be showing up for themselves because this is a non-negotiable area of their life. This is a non-negotiable part of their identity. It just clicks along in the background. They're clicking along in the background, gaining that interest, compounding interest over time. They're building that muscle during these tough periods because that's what they do, but they still enjoy their life because there's no point getting a result if it fucking ruins your life. Does that make sense? So from there, I would just adjust the plan a little bit. You may adjust the plan. That's not where I thought you were going to move, but that's okay. I would adjust the plan to be aligned with what you're actually going to do as well. Is it going to be realistic over this period to lose 10 kilos? Probably fucking not, unless you aren't going to enjoy those goals. Maybe it could be realistic to become that person that's attending the gym a few times a week. It could be realistic to start walking every fucking day. It could be realistic to start tracking my food Monday to Friday and start learning about food, adjusting the goals so that once you hit January, you have all that shit set in stone and you're ready to fucking roll once life gets a little bit easier. Once those events are stopping, you can still put yourself in a calorie deficit Monday to Friday, and then that will put you at calorie maintenance over the next couple months of those events. That's also fine. Do calorie deficit Monday to Thursday. You might be in a surplus Friday. You might be in a surplus Saturday. Back into maintenance on Sunday. You've averaged out over the week. That's fucking sweet. How is that not better than being in a massive surplus for 2 months? You know what I mean? We got to change the framing of this. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. This is the best time for you to start. When shit is hard, when life is crazy, that is the best time to start because you're going to learn how to actually navigate those times. You're going to learn how to navigate your life and prioritize this area when it is tough. So when it becomes easy, you can just fucking fly through and get the most amazing results. That's it.
Nice. Shit, that was good. That was very well said, man. I don't think I've anything else to add on to that. Yeah, I absolutely agree that it's the best time to start for sure. I like that you, I'm stoked that you said the reframing on how you can approach this time. And it's like building base, like something that we talk about a lot is foundations, like all that type of stuff. You're not optimizing, you're not going for the perfect, perfect doesn't exist. But if you build the foundations, you build some education, you build knowledge, you learn about yourself during this time. That's the key thing. You're learning so much about yourself during this time because you're learning how to handle, events, handle stress. Check. Okay.
Fingers off.
Yeah. You're learning all these things more about yourself. So another massive win is that you're creating self-awareness when you take that commitment. You're entering yourself into essentially entering yourself into the arena of a gladiator's battlefield. It's fucking dust all in the air, but you're learning to navigate with it with your sword and shield. Like, let's figure this out. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be exactly the results that you want? Do you want to lose that 10 kilos? No, probably maybe, but also you're going to be realistic with a time frame, exactly what Jamie said. So I think it's so important that you got to figure out how do you handle hard? How do you handle the hard things? And if you can relate to your goals to your easy days, if you can be able to see, if you ever think that your goals are going to be achievable just on your easy days, you're going to sell yourself up for failure. I only had this discussion with one of my clients a few days ago. Didn't want to come to the gym to train, had a bad day and stuff like that, wasn't feeling that great. And the thing I said to them, I said, do you still go to work if you're having a bad day? Well, yeah, I need to, otherwise I won't be able to pay for my bills. And so why do you think it's fair to at least to be able to skip out on, be able to let me reframe. Why do you think it's fair to be able to skip out on you being able to help yourself, be able to improve yourself, being able to show up for yourself? Why is this any different? Mm-hmm. You need to be able to look to figure out how can you be able to show up on your hard days. Otherwise, you're not going to see progress. Flat out, it's never going to happen. Because you're only going to. How often? When was the last time we've had a really good week? When was it actually I had time we've had an insanely good week where everything was like, fuck, we're on here. Everything's good.
Every time we're hanging out with you.
Thanks, man. What's the right answer?
It was Danny Blaz's birthday yesterday, by the way. So happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
We probably should have intro with that. I guess you were introing so you could. But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you never having fucking, you never nailing it. There's always fucking shit that hits the fan.
Always.
Work related, training related.
Always something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like a skill, right? So even if you want to reframe it, you could think of it as like, I am learning this new skill of how to work with hard situations. That's a muscle. You're trying to flex that muscle more. Best way to do it is this time of year. Best way to fucking do it. So yeah, no. I fully agree. I've got really nothing else to add.
Hell yeah. Well, it is check, just so you know. Check adds a little bit of urgency for whatever reason.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this
I
out.
do,
Is there anything else I should?
I don't think so. I think that you guys, if you watch this episode and the previous episode, you will have the silly season fucking covered so we can stop talking about it.
Yeah, I want to talk about other
Like,
stuff.
It's good, and I like these questions because it's so fucking relatable. But also at the same time, just fucking initiate that shit. This is where it's important. This is where it's really important to keep this fucking shit together and learn yourself and learn how you work in these tough times. Yeah, if you guys fucking do this shit, you're gonna be laughing completely.
I got a quick idea. Real quick before we wrap it up.
Let's go.
All right, let's go quick, just like 10-second explanations of don'ts. Don't do's in the silly season. These are don't do's. 10 seconds.
Don't do?
Don't do.
Are we being serious or are we joking?
I'm being dead serious.
This is going to be so hard.
This is going to be funny.
Wait.
This is an absolute... We're going to say...
No joke, this is legit.
Before we wrap, if you got to this point, first off, you're a fucking legend. We're going to say these are things that you don't want to do in the silly season. 10 seconds. Should I just start?
Start. Hit it.
Okay, start blaming people. Don't start blaming people. Okay? Biggest thing. Don't start blaming people to say that you, like, my friend just put me out and, like, they dragged me out on the weekend and that's why I did 10 fucking vodka Red Bulls and I got super blind. No. Okay? Stop blaming other people. Okay? You got to take ownership for your shit.
It was a fucking long 10 seconds. But it is your birthday, so you got 30 seconds on me like, what the fuck? I'm running out of fucking toes. Shit.
Oh, 10 seconds. Right.
Don't stop exercising. Do not fucking stop training. Don't stop exercising. If anything, double down on it and do it fucking more. So that way you're going to build up your confidence in yourself. You're going to back yourself more because we've only done 4 seconds. Because you're not going to be able to show up as your best with your food. You're probably not. So yes, double down on the exercise. Next.
Don't stop eating protein. Make sure you just hit some fucking protein. Use a palm portion reference. You can still track your food as a guide. Palm portion, go 1 hand or even, I like to even say, go 2 palms if you're ever unsure. Eat it in a few times a day or also protein powder if you need.
20 seconds. Don't give up on your goals. Reassess them, realign them, adjust them to work with what you got going on. So like we were literally just talking about, if your goal is I want to lose 10 kilos, adjust that to how can I show up as my best during this period still and enjoy the events that I want to enjoy without having to go fucking ballistic at every single event. On reach?
One more. Watch yourself talk.
Check yourself.
Check yourself. Watch yourself talk. Be a little kind on yourself as well, okay? Guilt is also a guide and it can also hold a standard for you. If you feel a little bit more guilty, that means you can work on some things, but make sure you audit your self-talk and you're not beating yourself up because that's not going to help either. And it makes it harder getting back into the swing of things.
Don't drink too much, do more drugs. Lower calorie, higher metabolic thermic effect. And don't stop listening to the Split Shift podcast. Whatever you fucking do.
Whatever you do.
That is number 1.
Because we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. And that is the episode.
Boom.
We hope you enjoyed this new episode of the Silly Season episode of the Split Shift Potty. If you got some value out of this, are you going to Auntie Kaz's farm? Let us know. Maybe you know how to navigate it now. Are you going to start next year? You probably shouldn't now. So there you go. Leave us a 5 stars and a comment on Spotify if you're listening, and a follow too. We would greatly appreciate it too. Also, subscribe if you're listening on YouTube and looking at our gorgeous, gorgeous faces. If you want to give us some tips on chess, please do that. And also, you can also give us some feedback too and your questions leading how to navigate this festive season because it's all very valid. So that's it. We'll see you next week.
Got a few moves in and we'll be fucking moving more. That's it.
Yeah. You will see us next week a little bit more ratty and scattered. It's my birthday party this weekend. So,
yeah,
if you got to this point, I'm very impressed.
20 that's crazy.
Dude.
That is fucking nuts. I don't know about you.
But I'm feeling 22.
Anyway.
Bye.